when I roll up, oh yeah, me go. Me no roll up, cause them it, stay when I roll up, oh yeah, me say what, do what. Me no roll up, cause them it, say when I roll up, oh yeah, me go, roll up, stay when I roll up, go, roll up, say when I roll up, oh yeah, me, yeah. Just a little bit, just a little bit. You won't let go of my hand. Go. Me no roller coaster, Mr. A. When I roller coaster, go yeah, Mr. The what? When I roller coaster, go say me say E. When I roller coaster, go yeah, Mr. Go. Me no roller coaster, Mr. A. When I roller coaster, go yeah, Mr. What?
Hello, everyone. Good morning, good afternoon, good evening. Welcome to the BlockCon Global official live stream. This is our first one, and we will be telling you a lot more of our founders here. We will excuse our CEO, Raymond Roddy. He won't be joining us due to internet connections and some other difficulties. But here with us is Laura, which is the co-founder of BlockCon, and we will be speaking a lot of why we are building BlockCon, what is the goal, where this is going, and more importantly, the impact that we will expect to have in this industry of the Web3 space, finance, banking, regulation, and a lot of different, industries in the digital economy. So this is our first episode, and we welcome you all to this first stream. So now, let's take a minute to hear a little bit from Laura, a little bit of her background and how she ended up in the Web3 space. Go ahead, Laura. Thank you. Welcome.
Thank you very much, Felipe. Thank you for moderating. And I have to say that is a fire intro video. I was bobbing my head and dancing to it. So good job on that. Guys, I am so happy and excited to be here. As Felipe mentioned, I am operations at BlockCon, wearing many hats as well. And I'm a co-founder. So, background, a little bit about me. So I have a background in running operations, founding Web3 endeavors, accelerators, being ops for fintech operations, go-to-market strategies, for marketing and investment endeavors. Before crypto, which I've been full-time for almost 6 years now, I worked in international trade, import-export in a couple countries. I love connecting behind the people behind the brands, which is, why I kept dipping my toes into the marketing and the business development and the partnerships aspect of it. And this brought me to stay more within this area and in the blockchain and the crypto space, because I've met some fascinating people in this fabulous sector. Aside from all of this, I'm an habitual attendee at conferences, speaker as well, anywhere in Europe, from here in Spain where I'm based, to UK, to the Middle East, to the Americas. So I really enjoy doing that in real life connection. I love events, and it's kind of a natural progression for me to be involved in BlockCon. I've been involved in other smaller events as well, crypto related. We've done a few galas, Raymond and I together, but this is definitely our biggest endeavor in the event space so far, and I'm pretty excited about it.
Great to hear. Great to hear. What a journey, I gotta say. Of course, different fields, all converging into what BlockCon is signifying for the industry right now. So really happy to have you here, Laura, on this first stream. And yeah, let's not keep the audience waiting and jump in right into the cake. Let's hear a little bit of all the what was the moment in which BlockCon became real, a real idea, like just like when you decided to actually build BlockCon through this journey that you just mentioned.
Yeah, that's a great question. We've had one too many typical conferences where, it was just packed. Is just trying to connect with people. Maybe you see them on day one. Maybe you don't cross path ever after that. It's very hard to kind of have those quality connections, not just like a badge scanning or a telegram or a LinkedIn exchanging of moments, but we wanted to do something different. We had this conversation last year, and we decided to go for it. We said, we've attended so many events in these different verticals that we're spearheading, and we thought we'd do something different. And we realized that we need all of these people, all of these verticals that we're going to talk about together in a room, not attending separately. We want to build this to put everyone in the same room so that business can get done, and people are aligned on the future of finance, which is essentially what this is about.
Great. Yeah. You mentioned something which is key, and that leads to my next question. That is that, of course, you were in different events around the world with different emphasis. Some of them more directed to payment methods, to payment tech. Another ones just like blockchain purists. Like let's mention, like big Bitcoin maxis, or maybe others more focused into layer two, and there is a lot of different typology of events in the Web3 and blockchain space. However, um, you mentioned some of the gaps that you have been encountering in these different events, and that leads me to think, when you were in the same room with executives, with creators, builders, enablers, and all these kind of people that's taking decisions, uh, did you recognize the gap there? Like the relationships gap, not only the event as the production and etc., but in that interaction one on one with these different kind of people.
Yeah, it's part connecting dots as well. Like being in, like, I'm very interested in traditional finance before even coming into crypto. And then just going, full time crypto, you just realize that finance and payment rails and anything that has to do with digital, which is everything nowadays, right? Everything is becoming digitized. It's following a pattern. And if you connect the dots and you attend these conferences separately in the different industries, you see that, some things just go better together. And I just feel like everyone talks about convergence, but when we think about stable coins and how huge of a use case that is in blockchain, when we think about tokenization and how much liquidity that unlocks, when we think about cross-border rails and the importance of it in a globalized world, iGaming, everyone talks about all of this and the convergence of it, but there's not an event that actually brings these players together and these sectors in the same room at the same time. So I think that the depth of the access into these rooms where everything that I mentioned converge is what's missing. Instead of just volume of badges, we want quality of the conversation and having all of these people in the same room so you can develop a relationship with.
Absolutely, and you kind of overlapped into my next question, and it was exactly about that. Like, uh, you guys, when you attended these different conferences, you actually spotted these different gaps. So, just like entering a little bit more into BlockCon. So now we've talked what were the gaps and what was like lacking, and maybe you felt that there was too crowded, too noisy, too rushy, and people like they maybe spend 1 to 2 days. Why what is BlockCon doing different in this kind of sense?
That's a fantastic question because it's one of our kind of pillars, and why we made this happen. So, this is not just another summit. It's not a conference. It's not a convention. It's a retreat. So it's an environment that is engineered for deal making. That's why we're putting certain people in the room with a certain profile, B2B oriented, and not a networking theater, but an engineering of events and discussions that lead to deal making. So this is different in format. The retreat aspect just makes it easier to connect with people over, you know, um, 3 nights, 4 days, rather than a 2 day kind of rushy experience that these big cities that are very nice, but you waste and invest a lot of time in just transportation and getting to one place to another, and it can be tricky. This is thought out in order to be the antithesis of that and to have an immersive retreat experience where deals can be made.
Absolutely. And I myself have been attending into different conferences too, not just only in the crypto space and the finance space, but other kind of events all related to the digital economy. And I feel exactly the same, like uh, you actually, if you have to travel, so you're spending transportation, you're spending your airplane ticket, you enter kind of in a rush, like trying to find an available Airbnb that is in your budget, trying to maybe take advantage of a deal if the event has some kind of agreement with a hotel, and that's a lot of logistics to come around, and you find yourself actually spending even more of what you have planned, along with the ticket, the entry ticket to the event. So you find yourself with this hidden cost, and yeah, what BlockCon is trying to put out in the market is an all-inclusive experience, and that's why the venue, guys, is no more than the best resort in Punta Cana in the Dominican Republic, no more than the Barcelona Bávaro Grand Resort. Is an all-inclusive experience. You don't have to tap into hotel reservations, Airbnb reservations, or going to visit Booking the last mile. All you have to actually take care of is your airplane ticket, and that's it. So that actually leads me to this concept that you mentioned of the convergence and the business retreat. It is intentional, clearly. And if you can actually elaborate a little bit more on why doing a crypto finance event uh, in the beach, in a resort, in the Caribbean paradise, and get a little bit out of the crowded cities, like New York, Prague, Paris, and this format of having all people like condensed in a venue.
Absolutely, Felipe. I mean, you hit the nail on the head, about the logistical just work that it is sometimes to get to these places. It's ticket, it's Ubers, it's accommodation, it's food and drinks, and getting to places. So there's so much going on. What we're offering here is, okay, you know we are making you go to the Dominican Republic, but when you land, you have nothing else to worry about. The airport is a 25-minute car ride from the hotel, and that's taken care of. When you're there, everything is included. It's food, drinks, adult drinks, anything you can think of, apart from the business side experience, and the workshops, the panels, the keynote. So everything is included in the retreat ticket. We wanted to do this. It's very intentional. We wanted to avoid the same pattern that we see everywhere. That's, strong individual connections, but no continuity. We did the 3 night, 4 day, completely intentional. We don't want to fragment the experience. We know that there's an appetite for that, for longer retreats, for longer business kind of escapes and intentional networking. And this is what we're bringing. This is completely intentional. We have been to, I would say, hundreds in combination of the entire team of just different events, and we wanted to do something that we don't think exists. So we need to do it ourselves, right? In a setting that is, it's paradise. It's beachside. You have the convention center, a 5 minute walk from the beach, and depending on the time of day, you transition. This is the engineering that we're talking about. You transition from one place to another as circadian creatures that we are, with the sun. In the morning, we have the convention center. We migrate to the pool area, and then we have the beach, and by the shore. All of the activations will be engineered around that so that it follows um, um, a pattern. We don't want people to be just busy and doing stuff just for the sake of it. It's going to be carefully planned so that you have your relaxation as well. We don't want to have it be boom 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 boom, one thing after another. So all of that is thought out. It's going to be a cotton linen kind of vibe. Forget about the suit and tie. Tropical, different, cocktail in hand. Just a tropical experience that is fantastic in a place that is just booming. Punta Cana is a place that has the best airport in the entire Caribbean and top three in the Central American area. It's becoming a digital hub as well. Giants like Google, like Nvidia, like Amazon have already invested in the area in Dominican Republic, in Punta Cana. They've already done their due diligence, business profile, and just accessibility is very friendly. So this is a natural continuation of what's already happening in the area. This is a global event that we have purposely decided to do in Punta Cana. So this is a very intentional decision, Felipe. A long story short.
Sounds great. Sounds great, and I think is very refreshing for the whole industry to kind of get out of the suit, get out of the tie, get out of this rushy experience. I myself, for example, back in February, I was in an event, and there was maybe like 50 to 60 different booths, and you kind of find yourself like in a bottleneck, for registration, let's say. That's the first one, and you kind of find yourself in an improvised networking session on the line, and then trying to go to the different booths, trying to understand what all the vendors are doing there, collecting business cards, and by the end of the day, you end up with a lot of contacts, but not real bonding, like not real conversation. And I believe that this concept that you have mentioned of decision density and actually giving people the control of their time so they can aim the conversations to the people that they want to reach to, the companies that they want to reach to. So can you tell us a little bit more about the companies, the attending companies, their profiles, what people will find there? It's only, for example, with different events, you find a lot of people like with products, with protocols, um, and not so much of other things that are actually orbiting in the digital economy space. So tell us a little bit more of those profiles, uh, both companies and people, and what does that make with decision density?
Yeah, I mean, it's a great term that you coined, Felipe. I gotta give you kudos for that. Decision density is 100% what we're aiming for. It's very intentional, like I mentioned. So the type of profile. So we have so as there's 5 different kind of profile attendees. Um, sponsor companies and kind of individuals that are going to be at BlockCon. So it's institutional decision makers in banking and fintech, everything that has to do with the traditional, but also the neobanks and where finance is going. We have infrastructure builders, like you mentioned. So infra from payments, tokenization, and anything in between, because it's such a wide range. If we take TradFi and DeFi and the convergence of them, there's so many interesting protocols and infrastructure players that are happening there. We have people from MetaMask, for example. It's the first company that comes to mind, that are building amazing products. Risk operators in the iGaming, the prediction markets, which is so in vogue right now. And competitors in the space just keep popping up with especially with the World Cup that just happened. And it's just a snowball with all of that. So you're going to find those type of profiles there as well. The capital layer as well. We're talking VCs. We're talking family office. One of our confirmed that we've publicly already released speakers is actually a royal member of the royal family of Ahman, which have a bank, which have an investment arm. So they're going to be there as well. Those are some of the names I can mention so far, but that's what we're looking at. We're looking at a cross section of profiles by design, and that is the product. That is the mix. Different profiles that complement each other under the umbrella of digital finance, which englobes all of the sectors that I just mentioned.
Cool. So, seems like BlockCon is like again, as you mentioned before, this convergence, this real convergence point for different industries, and that lets me to think about the verticals of the agenda. Of course, there will be less conferences because, for example, with different events, you find these big numbers, like 200 speakers, 300 speakers, and you actually find yourself asking, like, is there enough time to listen to 300 people? So BlockCon is bringing more quality, like very curated speakers. We're talking around 50 speakers. Yeah, so you can actually have focus time to listen to them and enjoy the all the setting of Punta Cana. So tell me a little bit, Laura, about the verticals. You mentioned builders, you mentioned protocols, you mentioned a lot of different players in the finance and the Web3 space. But what are the specific verticals that people can be interested in and bringing into BlockCon, so they feel a little bit more connected and motivated to actually go to Punta Cana by the end of the year?
Yeah, absolutely, Felipe. I mean, like I mentioned, there are three specific kind of groups, basket of groups, which is digital finance, which is let's start with traditional finance, which is kind of like the banks, the neobanks, and that it's like if banks are one, neobanks are 1.5, and kind of when you integrate the crypto blockchain aspect, let's say it's two. So that space, anything that falls under the banking and its evolution under that space is coming to BlockCon. When we talk about that goes hand in hand, regulation and policy making, we're going to find those profiles as well. So we have, for example, the senator of Buenos Aires, Mario Ishi, already confirmed. Buenos Aires is trying to do amazing things. They're trying to implement, the best kind of payment solutions for their people. They're going to be there because Mario Ishi wants to, talk about what is being done in Argentina and also meet with other regulators from the region, but also global. We have speakers as well and attendees that are coming from the Middle East. We know that the Middle East, historically, in the past, I'd say 5 years, have been very aggressive with their, digital assets infrastructure and their frameworks and how they're dealing with that, with the viral license and all of that. So they're coming. There's going to be players coming with that expertise, sitting down with other players that would like to implement such things in their countries, and companies that give them the infrastructure of payment, of tokenization, so that they can take and implement into their own countries, governments, etc. We're also talking about risk operators. Anyone in the sector of iGaming is going to find use and value in these conversations and being in these rooms. And then, of course, the regulatory architects, like I mentioned before in the beginning, they're key to this, because in order for all of this to happen at scale, we need to have a regulatory framework so that the big companies, so that the VCs, they feel confident into pouring big volumes of capital into the different solutions that the digital finance entails. So those are the verticals, Felipe, that we're contemplating, and we already have confirmed companies and interests, and we're talking to many more that are going to have their presence in Punta Cana and are going to be able to connect there.
Well, that is amazing because, as I mentioned before, you find different events focusing on only one thing, and people actually go there trying to maybe connect with different industry. That's not possible, and there is no other event, guys, that I've seen that converge all these verticals in the same place for 4 days. I think that's fundamental to understand, because it is not like just a couple days that in real life is just like a day and a half, because you spend so much time commuting, or like having lunch, or like even just the second day you find yourself like after lunch you're just having drinks. So having 4 days is really important to actually navigate through all these profiles and find yourself having the right conversations, owning your time. And that leads me to think, Laura, and let's jump into another block. And it is BlockCon is not just about conferences and networking, which is like the standard of the industry. There is a very spicy thing that BlockCon is offering, and is different experiences, and experiences that companies can sponsor. We're talking that we are in Punta Cana in a resort, and we have so much available. So let's tap into what kind of experiences will BlockCon offer, and let's position them as a differentiators from other events. But you have in the deck there.
Yeah, I mean, these are incredible because, like you mentioned, you're not used to these tropical experiences, but the setting is just prone to so many colorful and different kind of ways of warming up to people and warming up relationships. So picture this, right? So you have the convention center, very high roofs, like indoor outdoor experience. It's not the typical a room where you're entering the building and then you don't see sunlight um until you leave the room and you want to catch a coffee or make a call or whatever. This is something that's outdoor indoor. Convention center is a 5-minute walk from the beach. So it's convention center rooms where people are staying in the hotel in the resort, and then you keep walking and you're on the beach. You're by the pool and the beach is right next to it. So if you go to our website, if you check our decks out, you can literally see what I'm talking about and see the kind of like the map and where the placement and everything is. You're going to be mind blown. So we're talking about experiences poolside. We're talking about experiences that are on the sand. We're talking about poker night. We're talking about um rum tasting and cigar experiences. We're talking about so many different things that are that go hand in hand with the tropical Caribbean experience that we're not used to seeing in these traditional kind of big city events, right? Which is the magical aspect of it as well. We're not just doing the high end density quality that we're talking about, but we're also doing it in a very colorful and warm and different and you called it spicy. I'm gonna say tropical way, which is absolutely fun. If you're more of a visual person, if you want to hit those visual parts of your brain, go check out our showroom on our website and see for yourself what we're talking about. We have so many different fun brand activations that you're not used to seeing anywhere. People get excited when they see it, when they see them. We have coconut carts where you can, brand them for your company. We have a sweets cart. We have, we do have the typical barista hub and bar, but that's going to be beachside, so that hits different. Sunscreen station. So these are the type of things that you typically see if you've traveled to the Caribbean, you've been to these resorts, you know the vibe, you know what we're talking about. But now imagine having all of that paired with an exceptional business, Web3, payments, regulation, iGaming retreat, all in one. Mind blown and completely magical, if you ask me.
Yeah, absolutely, absolutely. I do agree, and that's part of the excitement of building this retreat. Because if you go to our social media channels, and here on screen you can follow us at BlockCon Global on every channel: Instagram, Twitter, X, and LinkedIn. You'll find that we also have a very special activity, and it is a golf tournament. And high profiles love to actually close deals during a golf game. And that's the kind of experiences that BlockCon is trying to offer to these our different sponsors, different profiles in the of the attendees. And we all know that when you go to different events, you collect the card, and then you go back to your home, go back to your office, then you pull up that card and send an email, and then you have to wait like 1 to 4 weeks for a reply, and then you have to wait another 4 weeks to set up a call, and you find yourself like waiting even 6 months to actually start talking a real deal. So BlockCon is offering these experiences and spaces so you can save even a year. I remember I was talking with one of our sponsors that maybe people spend a year to make a deal, and at BlockCon you can nail that in 4 days because you will have the experience, the right person in front of you, and you can share a golf tournament, a different experience like the Roman cigar or any other that BlockCon is offering. And I go back to the same point. It's 4 days, guys. It is not one and a half. It is not two. It's 4 days that maybe you will have the CEO of a big capital allocator next to your room, next in the just crossing the alley. So that's really really interesting, Laura, for all the audience, and that they understand. I think at this point they understand this is completely different, and we are talking a blue ocean on the events industry regarding to finance, blockchain, Web3, and all the verticals that you have mentioned. But now let's try to talk a little bit on the attendee side. Maybe they represent the company, but maybe they are not sponsoring. Um, what does the ticket include? Like everyone will be looking for a ticket in the next few months. So let's talk about that ticket. Why BlockCon ticket is different?
Yeah, so this Felipe ties into our entire concept from inception of what we're doing. So when you right now our ticket is $1,495 and it's an all in inclusive. What does that mean? So that means all food, all drinks, accommodation, all stages, all panels, all activities and experiences at the Barceló Bávaro Grand Hotel, just completely full board and full access if I had to summarize it. So this is a framing that represents literally, when we say all inclusive, we mean that you only need to get there. You need to arrive to the hotel, to the retreat, and then everything else is taken care of. That's why you don't have to worry about having your card on you, getting Ubers. You don't need to worry about, oh, let's see if if I ever, bump into that guy again, it's not going to be the same. Oh, let me take a selfie after this conference. You don't have to, because like you said, they might not even be staying down the corridor, but they might be staying door to door from you, your specific profile that you want to target, right? So it's just a blue ocean of opportunity to network in a way that I never personally have experienced before in the sector. So this is what we're bringing together. That this is what it includes, and this was envisioned like this from the beginning, and it's what we wanted to bring to life.
Excellent, excellent. And let me tell you guys a little bit of an anecdote that I had weeks before. And I was talking about BlockCon with a friend that runs an OTC desk here in my country. And when I mentioned the price of our ticket and everything that it includes, his eyes popped. It is still in comparison of what we were talking, booking an Airbnb at a hotel, Uber, food and drinks, commuting from one point to another. So depending on where you are, if you are in North America, Central America, or South America, is really easy and is I wouldn't say like too cheap, but it is really cheap to get to Dominican Republic, and there is a bunch of airlines that travels to Punta Cana. So you will find yourself spending even less than a $2,000 for all of that BlockCon is experiencing and offering. Excuse me, and be aware, guys, because these are pre-sale prices. But even if when we get closer to the event, you'll find yourself another price, but still at the full price, it will be still cheaper than attending other conference and spending a lot more in the accommodation, transportation, food, and everything else. So
I
it
would
is
also
really
like to
important to point
add,
at that.
Felipe. Yeah, I would
Yeah,
also like to add, I don't want to forget that it's end of year. It's an end of year event where we also purposely did that. We looked very carefully, at choosing those dates. And it's also kind of like imagine you have a company, it's going great, you want to compensate those collaborators in your company that are doing fantastic, right? You send them to BlockCon. It's a you kill two birds with a stone. You have the networking aspect, you have the sale, the the deal closing aspect, and then you send them to a beautiful resort in the Caribbean where they're going to get work done. So it has that double aspect to it. If you want to come with your family, you're super welcome. You want to bring your spouse, you want to bring your kids, you're absolutely welcome to do so. We take care of that. Just let us know, and we'll, do that for you. You don't even have to do it yourself. So this is not just a business retreat. It's something that's, you know, in a beautiful destination that you can take full advantage of for other as well, purposes. You're gonna, enjoy the settings, but as well, you're gonna take, bring so much back from the business side of it as well.
absolutely. And that's something that maybe families do care. Maybe you're a high executive and you spend your whole year traveling without your kids, without your spouse. Maybe trying to find some time to be with your family. It is amazing that BlockCon actually offers this possibility of bringing in your kids and your family while you work. So that's fantastic. And I gotta say that timing is very special because people and the space is calling 2026 the stable coins year, and we do have a lot of different important movements in Europe and in the US in terms of regulation, in terms of the blueprints of the operation of stable coins. And even traditional finance is tapping at a very, very fast pace into the ecosystem. And builders, like Theater, that is let's call it a very old company, is now like the princess of the space. Everyone wants to go with the stablecoin issuers, and the banks and in different institutions, they have to choose um, how to tap in the blockchain ecosystem. So yeah, we have different regulations happening during this month in the US, for example, and operatives right now in Europe, but even in Asian markets. There's big news from the past week. So is there a relation between BlockCon dates and everything that's happening? I think myself that all the people that are builders, bankers, fintechs, maybe paytech, or etc. Uh, they will find the right people to navigate 2027 in this sense. What do you think about that?
100%, Felipe. That's such an important point. I mean, there's so many converging topics and themes right now. As you mentioned, I think the stable coins takes the cake, and with it, the regulation and the framework, and all of these countries and parts of the world just taking action and actually giving clarity to founders, to people that are actually making things happen, which are engineers and entrepreneurs basically, and then obviously the government side as well. So stable coins, digital assets, digital payments, tokenization, real world assets, prediction markets, iGaming and its infrastructure, regulatory architecture, cross border fintech rails, all of that is happening live. Like I know that you and I have been in this space for a while. We've seen, many cycles. We know that there's been different kind of topics um, throughout the different cycles and throughout the years. But really now the institutions are involved, and big institutions are involved. I think that it's going at a faster rate. 2025 and 2026 and 2027, it's looking like it will be as well, just because there's so much capital and like big institutions involved that they want to see. They're going to be pushing to want to see clarity in that sense. So just we see all of these topics converging at the same time. And I could argue with you that, oh no, last year would have been a better year, or no, summer would have been better. There's never a perfect, exact moment. We just need to, put it out there, have a fantastic quality of, concept, execution, speakers, participants, and just make it happen, because the event really, really does mirror what's happening in the world right now, in these sectors. And this is what we're doing. We're putting everyone together with these hot happening topics so that they do business together. And everything is with that in mind. And we know what's in the news. We're very much into it. Um, uh, Day and night, basically. And this is exactly where BlockCon is going.
Absolutely, absolutely, and I do think that for everyone that is attending, for everyone that is spending the time at BlockCon, we are an event that there is not around the standard vanity metrics. Like of course we'll have a lot of attendees or our speakers and different attending companies that are very high profile, but what attendees should expect out from BlockCon after 4 or 5 days. And let me say, if you want to spend uh, more days in Punta Cana, we can arrange that for you too. Even if you want to arrive a little bit earlier, just let us know, and we will arrange that for you. But the outcome for the attendees is we are aiming for one fundamental KPI, and is the deals that you have made. If you had the right conversations, and if you had um, 2 to 3 deals on the table signed, that is exactly what we are looking for, and that's what BlockCon is built for you. It is not about having another lanyard hanging out in your closet. It is not about having a bunch of cars. It is about having deals made and having or escalate this conversation to the executional level. And that's why BlockCon is so different. That's what attendees should actually expect. So let me to start closing, Laura. Let's talk about this is a BlockCon's first time, but what's in the roadmap for BlockCon? Is there a second event you are looking for? Maybe having two by the year, or this will be just annually? Let people know if they missed BlockCon 2026. Maybe they have high hopes for 2027.
Yeah, first of all, don't miss BlockCon 2026. I'll start with that. But yeah, that's an excellent question, Felipe. This is the beginning of a platform. This is a beginning of something that is going to be annual, starting with our inaugural event, which is this 25th of November. This is not a single retreat. The intent is to build BlockCon into a recurring convergence point for this industry. So we're starting up with Punta Cana for the reasons that I mentioned earlier. It just makes so much sense. And this is, the model just to keep improving upon, so that we do this yearly and then have a replicable model to do this, who knows, elsewhere. But absolutely, we're going to be continuing to do this annually, and this is just the beginning.
That's great, great, great news for the audience, because you can actually have that plan into your marketing strategy, into your business strategy. Because of course, if you have the right people and you're saving months of reaching out and escalating your idea or your proposal to, for example, if you are a startup and you are looking to for funding, you'll have the right people. And now that I say that. It is really important for you guys to visualize that it is not only because it is Punta Cana and the beach and the Dominican Republic being a hub for giant techs investing in the country. It is the whole region. The Latin American market is growing at a really incredible pace, and is catching the attention from investors in Europe, from investors in the US, from investors in Asia, from investors in the Middle East. And during these months, guys, and all the conversations that we are having, everyone points that out. It's like you will have both companies and attendees, you will have access, and that's really important to understand. You will have access to investors, people that is actually looking to put money in the Latin American market, to put money in your startup, in your business, to make you grow, reach more markets, and consolidate this regional hub as an innovation hub, as a real laboratory for adoption. If you see countries like Venezuela, like Argentina, like Brazil, Colombia, Mexico, those are countries that are driving adoption and innovation. People that we are talking about, more than 200 million people that are not that they don't have a bank, they are not bankerized. So every product that is being built in Latin America and catch the attention of our attendees, our sponsors, our attending companies that are interested in investing in this, BlockCon is the place you need to be to actually tap on that capital, tap on those conversations, and make your business grow. So, making that as a final point. And a last question is, yeah, um, who needs to be in the room? Like, let's have a final comment, Laura, on a formal invitation to all the people that is watching us right now.
Yeah, and before I do that, Felipe, I'd like to just add that this is a global event. We just chose Punta Cana as a meeting point, as a convergence point. but we're definitely, converging global companies, brands, legislators in this very intentional tropical room, so to speak. So yeah, absolutely, the region is absolutely booming, but you'll find investors and builders and all sorts of profiles that I mentioned earlier at BlockCon. So to your question, Felipe, who needs to be in BlockCon? So if you're a bank, if you're a fintech, if you're a builder, an investor, or a regulator trying to really understand where digital finance is actually headed, this is the room for you. Don't watch from the outside. Come join the room, be part of the block, and come, close deals and take your brand, your business, your whatever it is that you're building or trying to do to the next level with the right people, with the right operators, with the right partners in at BlockCon. That's what I would say, Felipe.
Great, great, great. Yeah, everyone that's watching us, and even if you people are interested in attending, remember, just go to our website, www.blockcon.co. You will find all the information there. Our deck is there. All the speakers are there published. You will find all the attending companies in which you'll find everyone. You'll find the decks, the sponsorships. Even if you work for a company in this in the digital economy space, grab the deck, chew the idea, and see if you want to your company to attend, or if you want to attend. It's really easy. Tickets are still in pre-sale at $1,495. You can pay in crypto, you can pay in Bitcoin, you can pay in USDC, USDT, you can pay even with PayPal, with bank transfer, or it is really easy to get the ticket at this price. Remember that everything is included, guys. It is a golden opportunity to have access to real high profiles and real people that is interested in investing in your company. So thank you so much, Laura, for this space. It's been almost an hour here with a bunch of information. I do believe that people is like kind of in a shock, because yeah, our concept is really different, and you will have the opportunity to take advantage of this and live maybe the first real Web3 experience. We always talk about Web3 being relaxed, being, like in this vibe, in this different vibe, and you find yourself in different events, like in a rush. So BlockCon is the space where you can actually do business, enjoy the beach, actually be with your family if you want. So let's go grab your ticket. Let's go talk to your boss about this opportunity, and we wait for you at Punta Cana. Again, guys, this is our first streaming. Let me say that we will have more in a weekly basis. You will meet directly our speakers. We will bring some of the companies that are attending to BlockCon, sponsors, and big personalities in the space that you can listen to directly in our stream. Don't forget to follow us at BlockCon Global on Instagram, on X, and on LinkedIn to be up to date with everything that we are announcing. We are announcing new speakers. We will be announcing more companies, more sponsors. So be connected. Don't lose anything, because big things are coming in the next 4 months. So don't lose it. Thanks so much to everyone for being here with us. We do appreciate your time. We hope that this is a really valuable information for you guys. So yeah, see you next time.
Punta Cana, Dominican Republic. The architecture of the digital economy, tokenization, iGaming, investments, regulatory frameworks, blockchain, prediction markets, and stablecoins. The infrastructure of the next decade is being built now. Royal family members, governments, innovators, regulators, capital allocators, and all the builders designing the next layer for global digital finance, convened in one room, aiming for execution and building lasting relationships where quality matters more than quantity. 4 days in Punta Cana, forming decision density, and the experiences that create real deals. November 25th through the 28th. Barcelo Bavaro Grand Resort, an all-inclusive Web3 and iGaming business retreat. Access now. Partner with us and get tickets in pre-sale at www.blockcon.co. Follow us and don't miss our speakers, reveals, agenda drops, and ways to attend one of the most prestigious Web3, iGaming, and business retreat in history. Save the date.